Virginia Tech plus 5.5. You can keep those points. We don't even need them. 2-1 last night. 2-0 the night before. That thing to break over the middle of the plate.
I think he stepped out either.
Let's go to Arby's.
All right, we're back. Here we are. Barstool No Hedge Sports Show, NFL Draft Edition. We got Nappy back with us, who was giving us props all football season where we won on. So we thought we'd bring him back to talk about the bets he's going to have tomorrow night. He made live bet. I don't know how he does this. This is his thing. Nappy, where are we in the Bahamas?
Hi, I was. In fact, I was at Baha Mar, and I missed Elio by a day. He was at the Cove. I think we were both on the island on Monday. He left Tuesday. I landed on Monday, and I would have loved to have hooked up and actually gotten to touch the suitcase in person. That would have been a tough one with a family to bolt on night one, and I know it was his last night. I think he had a crew of people. I had a few folks with me, but they didn't get in for the weekend. So yeah, I had a busy day. I was Bahamas this morning, got back, lacrosse. I had to get my oldest to lacrosse practice, a condo board meeting, and then tonight. So it's been fast and furious. I'm a little behind on my prep, as you know. I like to put a good 30 to 40 days in on this.
Yeah.
And a lot of the value, can you live bet it? Yes. It depends on where. And how and what those, a lot of times it's just updated over unders. I believe like last year, for example, Mac Jones, I'd live bet him to go under 20. I think after the 10th pick, once you saw the first, I think it was at the time, 3 quarterbacks come off the board, or 4, was it 4 or 3? I think 3. So you can live bet it. The lines move quite a bit, and I'm a little bummed out. The odds aren't up yet on Barstool for the draft. So what I'll probably do is tweet some stuff out. I'll try to get some stuff out tomorrow that I like day of. I'm assuming by tomorrow Barstool will be up.
I would think so, yeah.
The stuff can vary quite a bit, right? So, I mean, let's just take a step back for a second, though.
Yeah, take a step back.
What was it, 20 years ago?
Oh, well, I'm going way back here. Okay.
I was doing this before there even was a Todd McShay.
Yeah, that's right.
You can attest to this, right? Think, unlike the Bean Pot, how big this thing has become, right? I mean, there's a draft show every night for the last 6 weeks on NFL Network. There's 55 variations of mock draft. I run a mock draft pool that's over 100 people in it now. It's in its 11th or 12th year. I mean, this thing is much like I was ahead of the fantasy football game before anyone knew. I mean, this is like I did it all over again with the draft industry. Now, I didn't capitalize on it. Shame on me for not doing that. But I mean, this thing is I'm shocked you're not even into it right now.
The draft?
I mean, this is one of the best nights, and I hated when they moved it to Thursday. Well, I think first they moved it to Friday, then they moved it to Thursday, because we always used to do a big cookout, and it was a big, the Saturday Sunday thing.
One of the worst days of my life. I was maybe 22 years old, and I got dragged to someone's house to watch the draft. It's the worst day of my life. One of the worst.
Who was the number one pick?
I have no idea. I don't know what year it was. To me, it's boring. Listen, I'll flip back and forth to it. Wait to see when the Patriots pick. But yeah, it doesn't interest me that much. But I mean, I want to see who the Patriots get, and I may watch, I don't know, 16 minutes of it over the course of the night. But
so I will say they've ruined night 2. Night 2 has become just a clown show. Like, let's get Kevin Falk out here. Let's get this guy, that guy. Let's waste a ton of time. I just want the picks, and then they backlog the picks. They don't release them. You kind of have to stay off Twitter if you want to watch it live, but it's almost painful.
Well, that's the second round, isn't it?
Second and third round on Friday night.
But they don't even like you'll go and you'll watch it, and they're talking about a pick that was made 3 picks ago, and they haven't even caught up.
Because they get all the bullshit's going to be backlogged, right? It's like we got to get this group of folks out here to do a big presentation. Meanwhile, the picks are coming, right?
Yeah.
And so it's turned into more of a TV show. When I first started to get in, I mean, I don't know what type of draft nuts we have on tonight, but I remember the old NFL draft being 12 rounds coming home from middle school. And you're going to love this term. Wow. Coming home from middle school and watching the fucking America's Cup on ESPN on the Monday just to see the late round scroll. Because before the internet. The only way you could get the picks live was you had to watch America's Cup Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And it was like round 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Because the draft used to start on a Sunday. Round 1 what used to be on Sundays. Then it got moved to Saturday. Then it got shortened to 7 rounds. Then it got moved to Friday. Then it moved to Thursday night. But this has been one of those crazy years for me. And it's not even kid related. It's just I've had a couple trips to deal with. You got to worry about the data when you're traveling internationally. So I'm just a little behind. But I think it's thought of as not such a fun year from like a skill position standpoint, right? There's a lot of wide receivers. There may be 6 or 7 that end up going in round 1, depending on what that number. I mean, the number is going to hit or miss by half, right? Quarterbacks, you may see 3. If you can get under 2.5, I think you pound that, and you can get it still in spots. I think kind of conventional wisdom is you're going to see Pickett from Pittsburgh go. I think he's right now. It keeps flipping back and forth. The odds-on favorite, and then Willis from Liberty. Those are the 2 guys that I think people kind of expect to go right now in round 1. There's the kid Ritter from Cincinnati that could go, but these guys are all trash, in my opinion. I think they all are trash. So anyone who comes up and gets these guys late in the first round, I think is going to reach. And I heard one of them kind of comped to Matt Schaub. I think that's the type of quarterback, or Chad Pennington. I think that's the type of quarterback class this is.
So you're saying those only going to be, you'd say go under 2.5?
I would go under 2.5 on the QBs. And if you can get juice and go on, you could probably get a big number under 1.5, because I think there's a strong possibility that happens. I just don't think anyone views these QBs, even the teams that need QBs, because look, and we talk a lot during the season about the fantasy stuff. You still have Baker Mayfield, you still have Jimmy Garoppolo, who are both better than anyone in the draft, that are probably both going to be traded. So to take one of these guys, usually what happens, someone comes up that trades up to the 32nd pick, they go take Lamar Jackson, right? You don't have Ritter, I don't think is that guy. I think conventional wisdom is like Pittsburgh's going to take a QB. There may be some really good players when Pittsburgh goes. And I think for them to take a QB just because it's a position of need, they're picking 20. There may be some guys there that I think are more impactful. And then, you do what the Pats didn't do, which is you take a good player as opposed to a shitty quarterback. And I'm not saying Mac Jones is a shitty quarterback, but then you suck next year. You go 5-11 or 5-12, I guess now with the new schedule, and you pick higher. You're going to find, if you're watching for the Patriots, this is one of those years where if you're a Pats fan and you are rooting for them to win in December, it's going to be a painful night, because I think they're going to just miss on some really good players. They won one too many games, in my opinion. And a lot of Pats fans don't like to hear that. But they're right on the edge where they're picking, in my opinion, in terms of like getting someone that's going to help them win. And I think, sadly, they're good enough. They're going to be picking like 20th every year. And I just wonder how you're going to be able to.
Well, they've got a top 15 quarterback. So I feel like, and somebody who's he could regress this year. He's in year 2, but somebody who's going to be a good quarterback, and he's a manageable guy. You don't know how good he's going to be, but he's not terrible. So in the NFL, if you've got a good quarterback to decent quarterback, yeah, you're going to win 50% of your games probably guaranteed, or not guaranteed, but right around there. So, you're right. If they don't build better around him, you're right. They could be stuck in this 9-8, 10-7, where it always lands them. But, you're playing to win. But, so I'm here looking, I'm looking at a site here that's got draft, and they just got draft positions for guys, over-unders. Do you have any of those?
I do. Well, some of these are going to be a little stale, but so the three. So I still have Hutchinson going one, and I think he's flipped to he's the number 2 favorite.
What's his first name?
Aiden for Michigan. He was 97 for Michigan.
Yeah, him top here.
He might be off the board because as you get close to
probably to they probably look at it and say it's okay.
Well, it gets to be kind of so I'm in on him. I was in on him early. I'm actually laying juice, which I don't love because I wish I took it today. George Karlaftis, I have over 20.5. I think he's going to end up being from Purdue.
What number do you have him at?
I have him over 20.5. I think he's in the mid to high 20s.
I got a 23 here.
So I would go over there still. I did see something tonight saying there could be a run on some DNs, and you could see 4 go in the top 12 and him end up in the late teens, early 20s. I just don't see it. Sauce Gardner, I have under 5.5. There's huge juice there right now. I would wait on that to tomorrow and see. I've seen him picked as high as Houston. I've seen him mocked to the Giants. Those are 2 teams that have multiple needs and in some cases multiple picks, not just on Thursday night, but later on in the draft. But I like him under 5.5. I would just wait because I think there's a the kind of Derek Stingley out of LSU. He's kind of the one that we're hearing about. This week, like, oh, Houston really likes him. I mean, who the hell knows, right? The GMs play games. This mock draft pool that we do every year, and if anyone's watching this and wants an entry or whatever, just send me a DM and I can send you the info on it. But you basically just pick 1 through 32. You don't have to get the team right, but you got to get the slot right. And so if I have Hutchinson, there's Ice. Happy birthday, big boy.
Oh, there he is.
Thank you. I knew nothing about this.
I know you didn't. I mean, I told Nappy. I told Nappy last week. I forgot to tell you. I sent you a text early today about it.
Yeah, but I didn't even. You know what? It's just. I thought it had to do with the horse racing thing.
Oh.
Because
I already did that. I've had a busy night.
And I just went on to Twitter. I just went on Twitter. I said, "You guys were on." I was like, "What? Am I missing something?" But. Anyway,
well, what you missed so far was Nappy gave a rundown on the draft history and his participation in it over the last 20 years. And now we're starting to get into something. So I don't know where
some of the betting.
Yeah.
Some of the over-unders that I've already placed.
What are they? What ones have you placed?
So Sauce Gardner under 5.5, which is that's still his
guy's name is Sauce. You said over. I got to break in right now. We've hit 2 out of our 3 legs in our parlay. The Angels are the only team left going for a world record 8 straight. Okay, so, go ahead, Nappy.
It's Ahmed Gardner. The nickname is Sauce.
Gardner? Did you say over or under?
Under 5.5.
Under 5.5. So he's going top 5
that
pick.
One for the juice because that one's bounced around. If it I wouldn't pay up for that, but I like him. I still like him under 5.5. It's just it's like betting on WrestleMania, Turk. Have you ever bet on WrestleMania?
I mean, you got to be kidding me. You've never bet on WrestleMania.
So you got to shop your lines around, right? I mean, no, listen, for years, because it's crazy. For years, when Undertaker was on his streak, that was easy money. But you get these crazy lines. So Sauce Gardner, 5.5 is his over-under, but he might be minus 230 on one site. He might be minus 140 on the other. So obviously we want everyone on Barstool, but Portnoy's got to get the fucking odds up. I mean, it's the night before the draft. There are no odds on the sportsbook. Like, what
Yeah,
are we doing?
that is surprising. So
Are they up everywhere
generic
else?
lines right
They're
now.
up everywhere else, Al.
Yeah, I'm looking at them in other places. So
Yeah, they're all over the place.
we're speaking in generalities. So you said his first name is what? It's not Sauce.
Ahmed Gardner. This guy played his whole college career, didn't allow a touchdown to a wide receiver. Best cornerback in the
So
draft.
yeah, I see him over under 5.5. So you got him under
I
5.5.
got him under 5.5.
Minus 160, I see. Yeah.
So I'm at 200 on him, and
Right.
so at 160, I'd still maybe wait and see. Now some of these are going to go, and you're going to be like, oh shit. You could look tomorrow and it's minus 800 because some GM said something, and it's going to shoot. That's what I mean by it's like betting on WrestleMania. You're not betting on a sporting event, right? So someone knows the answer, right? Somebody knows, like the Jags know who's going first. They might not know if they're going to win week 1, but they know who they're going to take.
They know who they're going to take week 1.
Exactly. Just like Vince McMahon might know who's going to win Undertaker, Shawn Michaels.
I
right?
think he does though. Yeah.
So you can still bet, so a lot of this is betting on what you're hearing and kind of what you think is going to happen. The big guy right now that is probably the controversial guy in terms of how the draft goes is Charles Cross. Some guys say he's the best tackle in the draft. Some guys have him 5th or 4th, I should say. I like him under 6.5. I love him under 6.5. And that's right where he is right now.
Yeah, I see that.
So that's one. I have him right now with the Giants at 5. I may tinker with my final few picks, but I'm not going to have him over 6.5. Come in.
Grand Slam Angels, 6-2 Angels. It's early.
Is that the game you need?
That's the last one. It's early. It's in the second inning, but they just took a 6-2 lead. They went down 2-0 too.
That's kind of funny because I had that flash up on my screen that 12 was the over-under. And I was like, isn't that kind of early?
You're saying the live is 12.
Yeah,
12.
Oh,
Okay. All right, Nappy. So we got this guy, Chris Cross. I got him. I'm taking him.
Charles Cross.
I'm writing all these down, and I'm taking all these tomorrow. So if these lose, you're going to have to
send me some heat. Listen, I've noticed the heat. You guys are taking a little heat this week.
Always.
Take heat all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not Chris Cross. It's Charles Cross.
Oh.
And then, so this one, I'm on the fence. If you've watched Penn State, they got a slot receiver, number 5, Dotson.
What's his first name? This is all done by first names.
Jahan Dotson. I got him at under 32.5. I think he's 29.5.
I got 30.
I'm sorry, over 32.5. I don't think he goes in round 1.
No, he's sort of too small, isn't he?
Yes, but so the people think the Chiefs take him. The Chiefs have back-to-back picks. I think the Chiefs are going to either trade up or out. I don't think they're going to stay with their picks. Breece Hall, the running back, he'll go probably, or he'll definitely be the first back taken. I just don't know where he goes. And from Iowa State, I don't. But his number is going to be huge. So I like the positional. How many running backs go in round 1? Over under 0.5. I like over 0.5. Quarterbacks, I like under 2.5. I really like under 1.5 if the odds are in your favor. And then I have those other individual ones. So that's kind of my thought process. I'm not going to pretend to know a ton on the tackles. And there's a lot of defensive guys. Like I said, I still got Hutchinson going 1. You can definitely get money. He's probably plus 300. I just think he's the best player. I don't think he's a number 1 pick year to year. Like you put him back in most years, I don't think he's number 1. Right? He's the Scott Cooper All-Star of this year because there's really no true number 1. But I think he's the safest pick, and I think ultimately that's what the Jags are going to do. But it's also a year where you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, the number 1 pick odds have swung quite a bit, and I think right now it's still kind of up in the air.
So, do you think there'll be a running back taken in the first round?
I do, but it will only be 1.
1. Let me see if I don't even see that here. QB, safeties, wide receivers, linemen, cornerbacks, offensive. Yeah, there's no prop here.
There'll be tomorrow a lot of this is the order of the top 3 receivers. Boom, 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 boom. right? But they're not really out there yet. And the reason is, I think these books can get rinsed. Usually, their maximum bets you can place on these to begin with. What's that, Al?
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, I don't think that you can bet that much on these. That's
No,
They circled them. Yeah, depending on what site you're on, a lot of them will limit it up until day of, where they won't let you do it too big prior, and maybe that's why Barstool hasn't put them out yet. They're just waiting for the day of. But I bet these are circled here. I don't know. I haven't.
No, and so this is another piece. When you're betting them, if the line moves, so most of these sites where, if let's say Hutchinson is is over under, it's let's say it's 2, and he's minus 200, and if it goes to minus 210, you could bet it again, but at a max 100. Basically, the line change is like a brand new bet. So it's not the bet itself that is the max; it's the bet at the line. That's
right.
The max. If the line moves, then you're good to go. But I mean, this is by far, I mean, NHL, NBA, MLB. This is the best night in April. Might be the best night until we get to the fall. And you come out of that, just, you know me, Turk. The football season ends. I go into hibernation. I maybe go down to Baja Mar for 10 days and I just come back firing. It's a draft, and then it's right into fantasy football.
When did you get back?
This afternoon.
Did you have a good time?
Unbelievable time.
How do you rate Baja Mar?
So it overtook the Cove this trip, and that's from my wife. And I never thought, we went once before, and I wasn't a fan.
Yeah,
pre-water park. I thought the service was a little shitty.
Yeah, it's probably just because they weren't like totally, built up yet. They were still learning the ropes. Yeah.
No, in Atlantis, I would only stay at the Cove. I've stayed at a few there. I've stayed at the Reef, and I've stayed at the Cove, and I've stayed at the Harbor Side. I would only stay at the Cove, but the Cove is like 2x with the Grand Hyatt is at Baja Mar. And I met Brady was there today at a crypto conference. I missed him. I actually I was outside the crypto conference last night. Listening to some free music, some free live entertainment, and Brady tweeted he's at the crypto Bahamas today.
What did you? So do you play in the casino?
I do. I played craps. So Joe Mixon was there. We saw him. We saw Ryan Fitzpatrick. He was running around, and I got to throw the dice with Julio Jones for a little bit.
Well, there you go.
How'd you do out there?
Not good until last night, and then Julio and his crew, we got a little get back game. So down a little, but not painful.
Hey, you're there for freaking 10 days.
No, exactly. And I didn't play every day.
Okay.
We were there 10 days, 9 nights.
That's a freaking long trip.
That's a long trip.
No,
that is a long trip. That's awesome.
No, I think our thought was, if you're going to do it and you're going to go through all the COVID bullshit, and everything else, like, we wanted to bake in enough time to just be able to.
Do you normally stay that long?
No, that's the longest. And so that's what I said to my wife. I said, is this overthrown the Cove because of 10 days? Our kid's a little older. We're not.
Yeah.
Like, is it life, or is it the place is nicer, but clean? The bathrooms at the water park, you could go in there. I wouldn't advise this, but if you wanted to, you could go in, I think, and eat off the floors and not get sick.
So, and Nappy, how many kids do you have?
Two girls. Yeah.
So, do you just have one room?
Yes, but that may we're probably at the that may we were talking about that. I don't know much longer we're gonna be able to pull that one off.
What? How much is a room night there?
Like 400-ish. Cove's like 9. I mean, when I look last, who knows now?
Yeah.
But it's about Cove's 2x. So, that to me is,
no, I totally, I mean, it is. The thing is for me, I don't pay for rooms. So that because of the casino, but right. I mean, it's that the whole Atlantis is overpriced. I mean, it's for a room there, just a regular room, you're going to spend $600-700.
No, and so full disclosure, this trip we actually booked on points.
Good.
So it wasn't casino, but it was just the Hyatt points. So that was the other reason I think we stayed one room on points for 9 nights, and it didn't cost us anything. So I was telling Turk I would have loved to have linked up for a night. It was like my first night getting in, and your last.
Yeah.
It just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, it just wasn't gonna happen. I know. When I got you, I just, how it is. I was with 23. There's 23 of us there. So
Turk, let me ask you this. So like I said, I got to watch the data. So you had some water damage to the monitors.
Yeah, the new one came today.
What happened? How did that happen?
Urinal.
Great question. So someone put something in the toilet upstairs. Okay, so I went upstairs to check on the kids down the street. I come back in the house. The cleaning ladies are in the bathroom, and it's a waterfall going on in there. I'm like, what the hell? The toilet is overflowing. I come downstairs because my desk is right below the bathroom, and there's water coming through. I guess it's coming through the ceiling right onto my desk. So I grab my computer out of there. It was like a waterfall, and I was thinking, and the two monitors went blank. And one of them restored itself, but the other one didn't. So I had to buy a new one. It just came today.
Only one. And is that what started? So I catch you guys, sporadically on Twitter or the lot with your live feed. Was that the same night this streak started? The Parlay King was born?
You know what, Nappy?
I think it was.
It was.
Oh my God.
That was Friday. And I started it on Friday night.
Said I need a big night. I'm down 2 monitors. And then,
that's right. And that kicked off the parlay streak. Wow, I didn't even think of that.
You have to thank Jack for flushing a dinosaur down the toilet.
I mean, listen, if it's no different than shooting the dice. I mean, cause and effect. You get on another cold streak, to go upstairs and clog the toilet.
Plug the toilet, destroy a monitor.
And no progress on the ceiling. It's still exposed.
He's still getting cancer in like 10 years. Yes.
Still there. Still
Did the insulation get wet? I mean, shouldn't that be yanked out?
The insulation did get a little wet. Should I take it out?
I think if it gets wet, you're supposed
to. Just don't touch it though.
So it's over there. I moved my desk. I gotta
listen. If you hit this 8th parlay in a row, you must be able to get that. No, I know it.
It's about getting someone here to do it. You're right.
That's true. Nobody wants to do it. Nappy, I need to know this. So, what is your typical day down in the Bahamas? What was your day?
It's great. So, we did it 1 room with 2 queens. My wife sleeps with both girls. They like going 3 wide on the queen.
Yep.
And then I'm solo. She wakes up at she'll probably kill me if she hears me giving this out. But she wakes up at like 4 or 5 in the morning. Goes to the gym, and then the door. She didn't quite figure out how to like close the door without shaking the whole room.
Boom! Those are heavy doors. Yeah.
So then they kind of get their day going. She'll bring up a Starbucks for me.
Yeah. Okay. So similar in my house.
The kids go to the pool. They were,
but not four.
Well, they were going to the pool like 9. And then I'd go down and meet them at like 10:30. I just, then they go to bed at 9, and I would stay in the casino by myself for probably a couple hours at least. And then we had 2 families meet us for like half the trip. So we had friends come in with their kids Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So like the first few nights I was solo. The last 2 nights I was solo.
Yeah.
But we do the pool. We'll do the Baha Mar pool. And then, like, the water park is kind of like going from Royal Towers to the Cove. If you think of it that way, you got to walk down the path.
Yep.
And we do the water park from 12 to we do 12 to 5. Then we found out it actually closes at 6.
Yeah.
So we'd extend that. I did all the rides except the big boy one. I can't do that steep drop.
Yeah. And so for dinner, what meals did you guys go out to eat for? Just dinner?
Yeah, just dinner. We would eat at the water park. Marcus at Baha Mar is awesome. It's right on the water there.
Yeah.
We ate there one night. We did Sugar Factory because we had 5 kids with us.
Yeah.
One of the nights, and then we did Swimming Pig.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of a staple for us. Some of the places in there are really nice. So you hate to bring the kids in there and have them like,
Yeah.
something gets spilled almost every dinner. So.
So, but like, so you went to some casual places too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was solid. The weather was good. It was a little windy. Like I said, it was. I had the very, very low expectations in terms of the COVID testing efficiency, and had like envisioned getting stuck either not being able to go on the trip because we failed going down and having to like cancel the whole trip the day before when the kids are all fired up.
Yeah.
Or not being able to get back into the country. But no, it was.
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, we just used we faked it on our way down. Fake COVID tests. We just filled them in. There's a blank sheet. You can just fill it out, and that's how we did it on the way in. And the way out is just they do that swab.
Yep. And they barely kind of get up there.
No, they don't want you there.
Right.
They just want the $100.
At one point, they had they'd put you on a PJ back to, I think, Florida, get you back somewhere in Florida. And I don't know if they still do that deal, but we, one of the nights we were out late, ended up at one of the clubs on site, a lot of locals there. I thought that was probably my best chance of getting COVID in the PJ ride, but I was negative, unfortunately. So I had to fly back to Marshall.
Yeah. Sometimes we were like, all right, who's staying with, if there's one kid positive, who's staying?
Yeah. No, well, exactly.
God. So that's good. That makes me think about it. I spent 2 nights there before, but it was new, and you're right.
Was the water park open?
No.
Yeah, you gotta get a whole different spot with the water park.
Yeah.
And their service level is much higher than it was
before. Yeah.
Before. So.
It just for me the hard part for us to ever change is how the 2 free rooms for 5 nights.
Yeah. No,
it's just hard to beat that,
Yeah.
But then I give it to the casino, so it doesn't really make a difference.
Well, it's just that goes both ways. So maybe you're gonna soak a couple monitors the next time you go.
I think I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you could. Nice, you could have picked up a monitor for me.
$450 monitor. I need it. What about quarterbacks? Is there going to be one real high?
I don't look. A lot of guys are saying 6 to Carolina. I would say no fucking way. I don't think either of these QBs. Who
is the kid? Is he the running? Who is the QB? The top one.
So Willis from Liberty. And Pickett from Pitt, who's got all the Pitt records. He was a 4-year starter.
I like him. But
I could see him in Pitt. Look, no, I just don't think anyone's coming up to get these guys. And the 2 teams that need QBs, well, obviously Detroit, I think needs one. They're not going to take one. Certainly not at 2. The Jets aren't taking one. The Giants, you could argue maybe, but they're not going to at 5 or 7.
Those 2 kids are maybe Pickett's a little bit more ready, but that Willis kid, do you think? I feel like he needs a couple years.
Both these QBs are, to me, QBs that you have to talk yourself into wanting to be good. I just don't think they're good.
Yeah.
And you have some years where you don't have. Look, it wasn't that long ago. Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota were 1 and 2, and they both suck, right? Yeah. Or they're fringe starters at best.
Yeah.
They've had spots, but they certainly wouldn't go 1 and 2 if you picked them over again. You even look at last year with the class with Fields and Lawrence and Lance and Jones, Wilson. You had 5 guys go that I think most people thought should be first rounders. This is a stretch. It's almost like the draft experts are looking at it like, well, you got to have it's a quarterback league. You got to have a couple QBs.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if none go. But
did you guys see what did McShay say about the quarterbacks? I didn't see him say anything. I don't know.
So his thing's a little different this year. The way they put out mocks, and even the mock stuff's kind of he did the last mock he did, him and Kyle traded off. And so it's a little different than doing your own.
Yeah.
I have I have the Saints right now with Willis.
How deep is that? How are they in the teens?
They're picking 16 and 19.
Yeah.
And I even think that's a stretch, and I may move that one final time. It's like I said, we've done this mock pool like 11 or 12 years. I think it's year 11. And it started out with just the guys that watch the draft, and NFL.com hosts it, so it kind of scores in real time. So if you're watching, it's kind of a fun thing to do. But I'll fuck with it all the way up until the end. Like it locks at 8:00. The problem is you make one little tweak, and then you got to make a bunch of tweaks because they're all kind of interconnected. But it's fun to do, and the folks that do it, some of these guys I talk to once a year, but it's at NFL draft time.
Is it money?
Yeah, small money buy-in. Last year we had 95 people do it. I think it was 20. I think it was 25.
Oh, that's fun.
Paid out the top 3. I think winner took home like 15.
Uh-huh.
To knock out, and you only need to hit like 8 picks to win it. It's crazy because every pick you get wrong then screws up the picks.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You only get, so if let's just say you miss on the top 3, you don't get the order right. As long as the top 3 go in the top 3, at 4 you kind of reset your own board and you can start getting them right again. You don't have to, like I said, you don't have to get the team right. You just have to get the pick slot. So if you had Mahomes going 10, I forget who had 10 that year that the Chiefs took him, but then the Chiefs traded up and took him at 10. You still hit it because you had Mahomes going 10. You don't have to be tied to the team. Otherwise, it's too hard to track. So you're literally just trying to list the guys 1 through 32. And if you hit it, it's a certain point. If you're 1 away, 2 away, or 3 away, and still in the first round, you get the credit for it. So it's almost like putting March Madness, kind of effect with the tournament and the brackets into the draft. And it's been fun. And then this prop stuff's kind of popped up. But it'll be, like I said, I'll put out try to freshen up some of the lines and some of the things I like tomorrow, at least give like 3 or 4 that are current on Barstool. And I looked even at their Barstool futures. There's really not a lot out there in terms of, like there's MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, a couple of win totals that I like right now, but nothing that's like too definitive. There's still a lot of free agents that haven't signed.
Ton of them.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of draft picks to be made. So I think betting win totals, right now is a little tricky.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't even.
You don't know who's on teams yet.
No,
a lot of guys still out there.
It's who is?
I said there's a lot of guys.
Oh no, there definitely are.
So I'm going to be out in Vegas next week, and I am going to. If I make a score out there, I'm going to make a big bet on Tampa to win the Super Bowl. I don't know what the odds are. Do you know what the odds are?
I'm looking at them right now. They are plus 750.
Yeah, I'm going to try. I'm going to make if I somehow can catch box cars on the craps table a few times, I want to make a monster bet on that.
Why Tampa?
I just have a feeling. I don't know. It's this every other year thing. I just think that they're gonna try to go all in. They're gonna.
Well, I got a lot of money. And Turk and I were going back and forth. I just couldn't wait to get his reaction when Tommy changed to the 180. I was so happy.
Well, he is such a publicity whore. I mean, what a fucking scumbag this guy is.
And I think we're
trying to get traded to Miami the whole time, telling people he's retired.
Well, I think we talked about it at the end of one of the last football shows I did with you guys was hey, I think he plays. I don't know if he plays with Tampa. I didn't think he was going to play with Tampa. I thought he'd go to San Francisco, Miami. I thought something else I still think there's a lot of smoke there. All of a sudden, Arians is done,
that's what it was. He's
listen. He wants to win. He doesn't want that joker in there. You got to get his ass out.
But he's let's see, an MVP. Because that's there as well.
I'm not that I don't.
Plus 800. He's the second
choice. I mean, you could have flipped a coin. He could have won it last year.
Yeah, Josh Allen plus 550. It's hard. If you nailed me down on one right now, it'd be Justin Herbert at plus 1,100. Just because I like that number.
Yeah, but you have to understand, you can't have. I agree. I love him, but that coach, I don't care what you tell me. That guy's not winning. That guy, the way he went about it,
Coach?
that Sandy, like the young guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was doing the crazy. He was doing the craziest stuff.
Unless he learned from his mistakes last year.
Yeah, I mean, because he was like so against the grain. Like it's like I hate when those guys think they invented football. Like he was so like going for it on fourth and like.
It's like watching baseball right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. There.
Well, this is the thing, right? That's why I keep coming back. I mean, I heard your rant about the NHL the other night. Turning into baseball and the reviews.
I fucking hate the reviews.
The NBA, the way that game's played now.
I'm going to a basketball game, but I'm going Sunday to the Celtics.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Why?
I'm going with Portnoy. So I just said yes.
Boots on the ground. Will you release a pick?
There. I mean, yeah, the Celtics. There you go. I couldn't give an educated pick. Although it would be Milwaukee, you don't know if Middleton's playing, right? He didn't play tonight, I don't think. So it's gonna be a tough series. It's gonna be a war. People think that the Celtics are just gonna roll them. They're not.
Well, there was a big Celtics contingent at the book every night for the Nets series. People are going banana. The book at Baha Mar and the new book at Atlantis that 5 or 6 years ago. I remember the old book at the was awful. It's probably a toss up. I'd say Atlantis is slight edge.
Well, I'll tell you about Atlantis this year. A couple of things I liked and a couple of things I didn't like. One thing I liked is I could go make a bet, and if I made a bet for like $3,000, I didn't bet a bunch of games, but I went and did $3,000. I put a game, I bet a 3,000. A couple of years ago, you had to fill out 48 forms. Okay, yeah. They wanted to know what blood type you were.
Yeah, you know the answer to that.
Okay,
I don't know what blood type I am.
So, but this year, I had a $5,000 bet, and I just bet it, and that was it. Big down, big negative, and it's real big negative. No horses.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know what the company that bought him. Was there any in Baha Mar? They were saying it wasn't. I couldn't really understand the woman.
No, you know what? Now that you say that,
I don't think she said the whole island or something.
No, I don't recall. But I was never really in during the day. But
the day, yeah,
the individual kiosks.
Yeah, you can see
you usually could tune in.
Yes, yeah.
But I didn't try. I didn't.
That was a big negative for me because I like to sneak into the sports book like for an hour during the day, play 3 or 4 races, and then come out and mind the kids. But I went in like the first or second day. I'm like, it was actually right after we did our double show. I'm like, give me 500 on the double. They're like, we don't take horse bets. I'm like, what? I've come here 23 straight years. This is the first time that no horses. It's like, yeah, the company that just bought us, the whole island doesn't have horses. They said besides Kentucky Derby and something else, she said. I was like, and I said something like the whole island. And again, I thought she said, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Now that you say that, I don't.
That's a big negative for me. I mean, that's like that is a real big negative. Because when I'm on vacation, I like to do what I like to do. And that was I'm not saying it's a huge part of my vacation, but it's an hour a day.
Yeah, why not?
Really enjoy.
It's a break. Yep.
And I'm surprised by that.
And I get to study the night before when I'm in bed, and then I get to play. And then I could play with TVG, but it's not the same.
No. If you're gonna you can do that at home.
Right. Exactly.
Well, that's too bad.
So, but I will be playing 2 days, Kentucky Oaks on Friday and the Derby on Saturday. I found out I think I might be playing golf too out there, which I'm happy about. But I'm really excited for Friday and Saturday of horses. I'm ready to unload.
Nice.
Unload what's in my pants.
Well, I'll have to do that from time to time. I cannot breathe.
Yeah, what do you have, hay fever?
No, I was going to say, so
Allergies.
this is where you got to go to the Bahamas. I had the same shit going on, and I haven't breathed better than this in 2 or 3 weeks.
Allergies. I cannot breathe.
Go down for 9 days, 9 nights, 10 days.
That's a big one. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, I'll just take off for 9 or 10 days.
I went 6 nights, and I was like that. I thought, you know what? I actually wanted one more night, so maybe 9 nights is the way. I just, you know what? For me, 9 nights would be so scary. It just because
you got to ease in on the game. Yeah.
And Nappy, you know what happened? I the first night I won a big chunk, and I ended up losing. I didn't. But at least I got to spend their money for the first 75% of it.
Yeah. No, that's I eased in.
Good.
And had it not been for the Julio Jones sighting, I probably that last night, which was the get back night, I probably wouldn't have played and that last night. So I was fired up to do that. I'd never seen this before. He had the slots next to him with reserve signs, but no one was playing. He just basically had half the table to himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then his crew was on the other side with me. And it was a fun night, but
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? JetBlue?
JetBlue. They jacked our flight going down. So you've done it that many times, you know the deal. We were supposed to land at 1. Now we're landing at like 6:30 p.m.
Yeah.
So we just
everywhere, huh?
ruined like a half day. So we ended up changing the flight to go to Lauderdale at 5 a.m. to get there by noon to at least get the half day.
Yeah.
But then direct coming back, but new planes, both legs. We've done Aruba a bunch. It was our 5th trip to the Bahamas. Like I said, we've done Reef, Cove, Harborside, Baha Mar with water park. So we've done 5 trips.
Yeah.
Once just my wife and I, and then with the kids were in diapers.
Yeah.
So, but this was I think they got it right. I would
recommend it.
I would absolutely look into it. I don't play golf, but the golf course.
Yeah, I'd like to play that. Yeah, I didn't play that
too.
That's what I was saying to people, because when I had gone, it was so new. I'm like, give them a chance. It's such a huge place. They got to figure it out.
When we left the first time, it was 3 years ago. So what happened to us was insane. We had Baha Mar booked, very first trip, with the opening month. They missed the opening. Then they wanted to put us up at the Malia. I think the place next door. No fucking way, we're going. So then they pushed.
Let me interrupt you for 1 second. Yeah. That thing was 6 years late. It wasn't 3 months late.
No, I know.
That thing they had prolonged that for a year. Because we went. I'd go almost twice a year every year, and we always like, when is it opening? When is it? It got delayed 100 times.
Yeah, no. So we were set. We were booked, right? Then they put us up at the Reef, and they paid for everything. And they did this for all their guests. They went bankrupt. The first group, I forget the guy's name. They had to sell to
Chinese.
Exactly. So then we went back. So the first trip, we'd already paid. We already booked the flights. We hadn't paid for the room. They basically put us up at the Reef. That's how we ended up at the Reef. Because I don't think you can always book the Reef because it's like a weird timeshare thing. Yeah. So then we went a second time. This time really to Baha Mar.
Yep.
And we didn't have to pay because it was like the makeup trip. They also gave us Hyatt points on top of that, which is we then got the card and combined them and went this time. Now we did pay when we went to the Cove, and when we went to Harborside, we've paid. But both Bahama trips and then the Reef trip were all kind of on the house because they filled in the opening. So it's worked out well for us.
That's good.
Rick Fox is down. He's got to have something to do with that place because every time we've been down there, he's like at the front door, like greeting people. And at one point, they were pushing like condos down there, and that's starting to get pushed back again. There was they delayed them, but I saw signs all over the place. You know, I think about buying a place down there, Al.
Well, but I get it for free.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying? Like it's like. Plus, I get, food. I get a pretty good deal as long as I'm gonna gamble. So,
right.
I get a 2-bedroom with a connecting room, in the Cove. Plus, you get more space. I got 1 million kids, and I have the babysitter. So, I need the space, but in reality, I'm not paying. I get that. I get like $250 food and beverage credit every day. So that covers my breakfast, lunch.
Right.
I'm only paying for dinner basically. But I didn't like the horses. I didn't.
Let me ask you this, because this question popped into my mind now. This is all coming back to me. So you leave the group you're with, right? You said you had 23 people.
Yes. Yep.
So you leave to go into a room to rip your when you do the shirt rip.
Well, that shirt rip. 23 people, you're including kids and
I know, but you kind of go off to do it, but then they can see, they could see it after it's been filmed, right? You should.
But the problem, that time at night, my kids are in bed.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So it's not like it's a day game.
Yeah. Now you had a couple good ones in there. I think there was like a bathroom one.
Yeah.
There were some good ones.
Oh man, you know what? And I talk with Mark about this a lot. I was 3, and I hate to say this. Hopefully nobody's watching right now. I was 3-1 tonight, and it's just I had Montreal plus 185. Like,
wow, they won.
I have 2 over. I mean, it's just, you know what it is. You live and die by the one game, and I'm gonna live and die by it. But it's just this, like a night like tonight, hurts me. Because I was 3-1.
Yeah, but I think you get the right mindset. If you're playing one a night, it is. Because
for
next thing you know, you're betting the board like the Turk on Saturday. You got a fucking dry erase board behind you, the 1 million games.
Yeah. Listen, I'd be dead broke.
I'd much rather do that. There's nothing better than 15 football games, 20 football games on a Saturday.
What's your unit count right now, Turk? On the you were flirting with the 30. Your red
hockey?
Yeah.
19.
Okay, so you've given a little bit of that, but you're red hot.
It's been a tough 2 months, yeah.
But the
baseball, I'm up 15.5 right now coming into tonight, and we're waiting to see if we can add to it.
What do you have any straight play? Do you have?
I had the Miami Marlins also straight, so I've already won that. I have the Chicago Cubs plus 175. They're winning 4-3 in the top of the 10th. And then I just need the Angels to cash that 240 something parlay.
You got a real cold.
What?
You have a real cold right now.
Yeah, I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Plus, he films all his shit outside. You should stay in the house for a few days and shut the windows.
You have hay fever, Mark.
I do. I remember I used to get it. I used to get hay fever.
Unbelievable. Nappy, would you the place that you stayed, as far as for kids, now because the water park, it's
a home run.
I hope TripAdvisor is watching this because they got a whole fucking Bahamas review.
I love the Bahamas talk. I love it. Nappy, I think we counted 36 times I've been to the Bahamas.
So I'm only
5.
5.
I've been twice, maybe.
Where'd you stay, Turk? With Atlantis?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Paradise Island. And Paradise.
Yeah, I stayed on a boat. I stayed on a boat when I was 18 down there. Yeah.
So it's a year out. Next year, we just plan to do the draft show from the Bahamas.
I am planning on going next year. So
I can get Mark a room for like a casino rate. So I got 2 rooms for my friends. One it was more, but like my one buddy was free. It was $100. He stayed 5 nights. It was $150 for 1 night and 4 nights free. It was a standard room, 2 beds.
Listen, the Turk isn't. I mean, he's not that highbrow. He'll take a standard room.
No, listen.
Right.
If he's going to spend basically with the taxes for 5 nights, like $300 or $400, there's no place in the world you can.
That's not the problem. Yeah, that's not it. That's not it at all.
No, you book it now. The
airfare that's the most expensive.
Well, yeah. We booked this trip last July.
Like $6,000.
What did you pay, Nappy?
So the dollar equivalent.
Yeah,
I want to say for the 4 of us, which you won't believe, we booked it on points.
Yeah,
it was like $850 for 4 round trip tickets. We booked it last July of.
Elio was so shocked by that he lost his internet connection, so his phone probably died.
We booked it in July of 21, and I remember booking it and the kids not being that hyped up. And they're like, well, it's too far out in advance. How do you get fired?
I mean, if I would have tried to book that trip now, it'd be $6,000 to fly 6 people.
No, it's crazy. But yeah, we should do that. Go out and we'll set up a couple stools. We'll get Patrick out, maybe get Patrick a room out there. And I mean, I don't have that kind of pull, so we'll have to lean on Al. But we could set something up. Maybe have him bring his camera equipment down and do one proper,
Yeah, that's what we'll have to do. It's just the problem is, we'll have to do this week prior because school vacation week.
No, that's it. So we did Monday to the following Wednesday, so they did miss school.
Yeah, so Elio left. A lot of people do that. They leave prior to school because just the airlines just
it's
destroy
insane.
You with the price over these vacations. They absolutely destroy you.
And it's my oldest is in 4th grade, so it's like, all right, I feel like we can get away with it for a couple more years. I think the older they get, obviously, the harder that is to pull off. So these vacations, money-wise, may be a lot more painful for me in terms of needing more rooms and then needing to get, just crushed on airfare because I need to follow the school schedules going forward.
Yep. All right, Nap. We put a good hour in here.
No, it's nice
to a lot of topics. It was really nice to get this Bahamas review. I hope somebody could learn some stuff about it. We got some draft picks. Maybe you'll tweet those out a little later. Anything you're gonna add? And you don't talk any other sports anymore. So
no, that's it. It's
we won't see you again until August. Maybe we'll do a little preseason football.
Yeah, after camps open up, take a look at the props. We have rosters and
we'll look at some season win totals.
Yes, I think you expose them early. I like the draft props. The ones that usually stick out early, and then once the season gets, the Jamar Chase pick last year, that we got early. Like by the end of the year, it was obvious, but you get it in September, and it's I think more. The lines are more in your favor with some of that stuff in August. So we'll get some stuff going. Hopefully I have the tan, the tan will be there. You'll be able to breathe. I'll be poolside. I'll be poolside all summer. So it'll be good. Chicago Cubs just hit a home and then have a 3-run lead in the 10th. So maybe we hit both of our straight plays. And a parlay. Could be a 5-unit night. We don't know. We don't know yet. We got a lot of I'm going to be up late though. I'll tell you that because I got to stay up for this. Well, good luck the rest of the night, and we'll be on again soon enough, my friend.
You'll be here before we know it. All right. See ya.